I got this solar shower from a charity shop for $5, £2.50. Apparently if you leave it in the sun for 3 hours, the water in it is warm. So let's give it a try. Whoa! Nah, still cold. This is van vlog number 4. On my own now because Lauren's left me. Not like actually left me, but she's gone to England for a few weeks. So I've got 6 days until I move into the van. So I've got lots to do. So better get on with it. So anyway, I'll show you where we're up to on the van and what progress we've made in the last few days. This is the finished floor. We've had the layout change, so the bed's going to be like an L shape, and when we turn it into a double bed, this bit is going to pull out, and when we're not using it, it'll just be like an L-shaped sofa, hopefully. To make sure the bed's nice and secure, I've built this frame that's fixed to the bulkhead of the van, with nuts and bolts, brackets. It's pretty solid. When I shake it, the van moves and not the piece of wood, so that's a good sign. And this is the start of the bed frame. This wood that we've got is the first wood that we've bought. It was about $60 for all of it in total, which is pretty good. It's nice and thin and light, but it's still solid. So we've got a frame, like on a column here, column in the middle, and a column at the end. That's one side of the bed frame. It'll take all our weight. It's good. And then at the end, it's not fixed down yet, but we've got 3 columns there. So next is the middle of the bed, which is going to go right from front to back, just like that. Slot onto the end, and I've got a bracket at the front. There'll be a leg support on it in the middle, but we also need a piece of wood to go across the middle. So I'm going to put it like that, and what we need to do next is pretty tricky. So that the middle of the bed is nice and flat and comfortable to lie on, we're having to cut these grooves in the wood, then it'll be nice and level. So I'm going to show you how to do that with limited tools. So here's the one I made earlier. All I've done was measure the middle of the wood. It was like 2.25 centimeters. So I cut each side here, and then I just sliced little bits all down along here and chipped them out with a screwdriver. Then I sanded it down so it's nice and smooth and hopefully slots together easily. So I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so what I've done here is measure up where the groove needs to go. Obviously it's different for each fan, and then just with a ruler or a pack of screws, anything straight, just draw your lines and do it on all 4 sides of the wood. Next step is to measure where the middle of the wood is, and we're just going to cut here, here, and then a few little grooves in between. Just cut a load of lines, and all I'm going to do is chip them out with the screwdriver and a hammer. Next step is to sand it, make it nice and smooth. Several adjustments later, but it's all done. It's not the most perfect looking thing, but it's going to be covered up anyway. The main thing is that it's level. So what I'll do next is I'll put a leg from there to the floor, and then that'll just be the last support then. So it's time to screw everything down and get it all fixed. So that is most of the frame done. So here's going to be the main bed area. Here there'll be a piece that pulls out when we want to turn it into a bed, and that'll make it a double. Then it'll fold back in and it'll be like an L-shaped sofa. Over here we're going to split this in half. The back end will be a cupboard, this end will be the bed and the seat. There's lots of storage underneath, which is perfect because that's what we were worried about. So that's going to be all of Lauren's, and then I get this bit, which is enough. Okay, so the next stage will be to put all the slats on this part of the bed. We're going to use these things. All they are is like cut-offs of skirting board, measured to the right length. So we're going to put them all the way along, and they're going to alternate with the part that slides out. So yeah, they're nice and thick, and they're really cheap as well. Just been to Bunnings to get the rest of the wood that I need for today. So I've got all the slats I need, and I've also got the last pieces of the frame. So I'm going to screw them in, and then it's kind of done for today. So what I've done here is line up where all the slats for the bed are going to go. So it's going to be slats here, and then plywood across this. Then the pull-out bit will be slats as well. So I'm just going to screw them in. Okay, last screws. Let's get them in and then give it a weight test. Okay, time to see if it will hold my weight. If it can hold mine, then it'll hold Lauren's. Nervous. I think what's wrong is the screws I've bought are too small, so they're only going a tiny bit into this bit of the wood. So it's the first mistake I've made on the van, really annoying, but should be pretty easy to fix. Anyway, that's how it looks at the end of today. Pretty productive. Let's just pretend that the screws are all okay, and I'll do some more work on it tomorrow. Time for a beer.